We are live. We live. We live, man. We live.
Live? Oh man.
we live. We live. We are in there. All right, man. Welcome. Yo, this is episode 150, man. 150.
Shout out to us, man. 150 episodes. Hey, that's a huge accomplishment, man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man. So we it's crazy that it was only 50 episodes ago we did a live taping of the 100th episode, which was like a little under a year ago, but that's crazy. So again, yeah, shout out to us. This is gonna be a good show. How was your weekend, man?
My weekend was good. Got to grill, got to go fishing. The weekend was real good.
Where'd you go fishing?
Man's weekend.
Where'd you go fishing?
On the Rappahannock River. Not bad.
All right, well, all I did, actually, I had a pretty good weekend. It was we grilled as well over here, and then we listened to the battle. It was who battled? Ludacris and Nelly. And of course
Nelly Riley, huh?
Huh?
I said Nelly Riley.
Nelly Riley. Yeah, man. They said it was a bad storm. Okay, but my God, man, these guys should be testing out their everything, before they get on live, because it's just like, man, what is going on here?
You know what it is? I think like sometimes people, they're just assuming that their stuff will work. I mean, if it works normally, they're thinking like, okay, now I'm good. And it's like, man, when it's time to perform, that's when things always break down and go wrong.
Yeah, man, so. and it's crazy, but it was a good battle. No, it wasn't. It was a slaughter.
Who you think won?
Ludacris won like by a landslide. It wasn't even close. This was probably the largest margin of victory out of all the battles. Because one, Ludacris was prepared, right? Two, Ludacris didn't have no issues with his sound, and I give them both credit, because they could have easily been like, nah, let's just postpone it, but they didn't. Which was good, but even then, it was like, Nelly didn't play some songs that you would have expected him to play,
right?
And like he played like the song with Janet before, during like the extra period when they was just playing songs. So I didn't understand that, and it is what it is at this point.
You know what? Nelly is like MC Hammer to me. No, I'm just. And what I mean by that is like they're two artists that they had their time period, and they just get disrespected so much, man. But I mean, it just is what it is, man. I like Nelly, like I like MC Hammer, but they never come up in. Hell, I don't even know if anybody would put Nelly in the top 25 or even the top 50 rapper, but they definitely had contributions to hip hop,
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would put Nelly in the top 25 either. but
it's a tough one, man.
Yeah, man. So all right. So real quick before we go any further, today we're gonna have Ahmad Hawkins on a little later. The Ballhawk. He's actually been on the show before. He was one of our first guests. Actually, he called in when we was in the studio. He called in, talked to us a little bit. He played a year with the Chiefs and all of that. And now he has his own podcast, which he's had for a while. He's one of the voices of UVA football, so it'd be good to talk to him about that. He has a lot to say within the sports world, and within with his Last Dance, man. I pretty much go to all his lives when he starts talking about the Last Dance. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I got some questions for him on his take of the Last Dance, and it'll take the show in a different direction. But let's kick it off there, man. What did you think?
Well, before I wasn't done yet, Scott. We got more than one guest today. We got more than one guest. So also we have Ezra McNeill. He's actually he just graduated from Virginia State, which we're both Virginia State grads. He has his own podcast as well, and we'll get to talk to him about graduating in a time, graduating during a global pandemic. So that's gonna be kind of cool as well. So yeah. So what's your question, man?
I done forgot, man. He took so long to wrap that up. Hey, man, I had to get you back, man. I had to get you back.
Why do you want to go there?
I had to get you back. I had to get you. So look, Last Dance, man. What were your thoughts?
On the last 2 episodes as well, I think they were great. I think that it would have been interesting to see if they could have won that next championship. It would have been a locked out season, but it would have been interesting to see. One take that I did take from it, I grew up a Bulls fan, still a Bulls fan, but the Bulls wouldn't have won 8 championships in a row. I know a lot of people like to say that, Jordan, he retired those 2 seasons or a year and a half. And had he not retired, they would have won 8 straight. No, they wouldn't have. No, they would. They may have won 4 straight and may have still won, still won 6, but it would have been really tough for them to win 8 in a row.
I think throughout the documentary, you got to see how worn down Jordan was mentally, and what a toll it actually took on his body to just maintain that level of greatness.
Right.
So I am in agreement that they wouldn't have won 8. One could even argue that if he wouldn't have retired, he may not even won 6, because this stuff was starting to take a toll on him mentally to where he did need that break with baseball. So as well, I thought it was a great documentary. I appreciate it. I like the fact that this generation got to see what Jordan was like. I think we take it for granted that we got to grow up watching him. And I think like enough time has passed to where you've got a generation out there that they know who Michael Jordan is because his shoe is still relevant and he's still a prominent figure in our community. But to actually sit there and watch what he was able to do to his opponents and the way that he just dominated the NBA, it just, you got reminded of it during this documentary. Now, the other thing I will thank this documentary for is I think Horace Grant and Craig Hodges and some of those guys have probably come out with their own documentary.
Oh, I had a feeling that was going to happen anyway. I think that was picking up steam, within the media and things like that. Once he said something about Jordan saying something about the coke and the cigarettes and all of that, then I figured that was about to that was what was going to happen, and they're pissed.
Yeah, well, if you really think about it, just about everybody that was on those Bulls teams, with maybe the exception of like Steve Kerr and some of the other role players, are pissed because they all feel like a lot of stuff was left out, and a lot of stuff was edited and cut. So they want their opportunity to tell their side of the story. I think Jordan, even though it was a one-sided story, I think he told it the best way that he could. It was more from his perspective, but he didn't he didn't shy away from a lot of the stuff that I expected him to shy away from. I know early on in the documentary, I was critical of, okay, well, they're leaving out this, they're leaving out that, but they were working their way up to some of the things that we wanted to see. Did you see that the guy that made him the pizza in Utah came out and
yeah,
pretty much?
I don't know how much I believe him anyway. It's
The
easy to
pizza
say
man, the pizza man or Jordan.
the pizza man.
Okay,
because I've heard that plenty. Road teams go and they have to pretty much go 4 or 5 towns away to get food because of being feared of being poisoned or whatever, or somebody doing something to their food. Or of course they get someone else to order the food, but still it's just
okay, so my question for you is, like, before the documentary started, one of the things that you're on the record talking about is you felt like the flu game, he was hungover and he was drunk. Have you changed your opinion since seeing that, or
a little bit? Because all right, so now the flu game turns into the food poisoning game, and that ain't got the same vibe. So
see, I'm more so to where when you first said it about the drinking conspiracy, I was just kind of like, nah, but now I kind of believe it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like
you was up all night in your room with all your peoples and
with
you had
pizza, and you ate a whole pie of pizza.
Yeah, you was drunk.
Come on, man.
You was drunk.
Yeah, so I felt like before, I've always thought that he had a hangover, and those symptoms that he had were hangover-ish.
They were very hangover.
They were hangover-ish. So
you know what? You know why he was able to ball? Because when you have a hangover like that, eventually, like, your body adjusts.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It kind of changed from the flu to a food poisoning now, and then now you know what? Now the pizza man talking about, we ain't do nothing to that pizza. So
yeah, so I'm interested to hear what Hawk has to say about that, because I know he's got an interesting take.
Yeah, let's bring him on now. There you go.
What's going on?
What's going on? All right, so Hawk, what's going on, man? Hey, we doing good, man. So I don't know if you heard us talking about The Last Dance. Were you able to hear us, or?
Yeah, I heard. I came in with the food poisoning.
So I mean, what's your take on that, man?
Hey, man, it's a wild story. I'll tell you that much. It's a wild story. Like,
very wild.
When Grover was talking about it was 3 or 4 dudes delivering one pizza, I would have had a red flag up. But again, that's in the late '90s, so it's a little different now. But either way, man, he won't feeling well. But I'd rather them just say he was sipping on something, and
right.
It is what it is. Either way, he still powered through it.
Yeah, and that's what makes it even crazier, because I mean, he had what, 47 or 44? He had 40 plus.
Yeah, 40 plus.
And even if he did have a hangover, that's amazing. That's amazing. But it's gonna be hard for somebody to convince me that he had the flu or food poisoning. Regardless, So look, Josh Gordon was an All-Pro, high and drunk, damn near every game. So,
to be honest, and this is where I gained a lot more respect from him, is all his activities off the court, just with him playing like golf. It looked like he was playing golf before games. There's been stories of this guy sitting in his Lamborghini outside the stadium, smoking cigars and telling opposite players as they're coming in the stadium, I'm about to drop 50 on it. I know the Wizards, they said they got off the bus and that man was sitting in his car smoking a cigar and was like, yo, who guarding me?
Who checking me? Yeah. Calvert Cheney checking you. Oh yeah. You have a long day.
Oh man. So what's good, man? What's new? What's new with you?
Nothing much, man. I'm a miler now. I run miles every day, man. I can't play ball. Can't play football no more. The gyms are closed, so I can't box. So I just run, man. So they call me the running man in this neighborhood. The folks see me running at least 8 miles a day now, and that's coming from a dude who hated running just 2 miles on a track workout as a light day. So come a long way, yo.
Yeah. So all right. So we saw that. Let's get back to this last dance real quick with Horace Grant, right?
Yeah.
And he's. I think he's a little bitter, but what is your take on him calling Jordan a snitch and saying that the things that he was saying was BS, and he didn't like I guess he didn't like the way he was portrayed in the last dance, but I mean,
yeah, I can see where Horace coming from. Like Horace, a prideful dude, he was important for that first 3 feet. I know the comment that probably pissed him off when he told Horace he need to stop being the B and man up, stop complaining. And then you hear John Sally kind of, confirm that the reason why they felt like they always got in the Bulls' head was they always complained. And that time they fouled Scottie Pippen, and he just walked to the free throw line and hit the free throws.
Right.
That's when John Sally knew that they were done. So I think Jordan was just adding context, and Horace just didn't like that. Because remember, Horace called the Pistons, they were straight B words.
Right.
So, I just think that Horace don't want his image to be tainted because Horace is seen as like that enforcer, tough guy.
Right.
And Jordan shed some light behind the scenes. And that's what the documentary was about. Everybody showed a vulnerability state, even Jordan. I didn't understand why he cried when he won a championship, the fourth one. When he fell on the floor, I didn't know it was Father's Day. I didn't know it was because of his dad. So even when he did his interview and he told him to break, I think Horace just didn't want to make it seem like that he was soft.
Right.
That's how he took it.
So I'll take it a step further. I think he was pissed about that whole Jordan Rules book because they did make it seem like he was the snitch in the locker room and he was the one that sold the team out. So I think that really got under his skin. But I don't really buy Horace's Grant story to where he's talking like, oh, yeah, me and this guy are great friends. We're still great friends, but I never told him anything. I never told him anything about what's going on. So I think that struck a nerve with him.
I think that's a great point because if somebody reads the Jordan Rules by Sam Smith, they'll see that they try to implicate that Horace was a guy that had diarrhea of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? From the locker, sharing a lot of stories. So whether true or false, a guy like Horace isn't going to say, yeah, I said it, because he's going to be looked at differently. So it's almost like the documentary kind of confirmed that, yeah, I could see Horace kind of doing it. And he tried to get out in front of it. And look, man, we don't know. The great thing about the 90s is you'll never truly know the truth. We saw that with Isaiah Thomas situation, not shaking hands, and Bird never shook hands. We just won't really never know the truth. And he got to save face in a sense because he doesn't have the brand like Jordan does.
Right.
Hey, Hawk, you brought up a good point, though. Horace ain't want to let them hands fly back in the day. He's talking all that crap about him being a liar now. But he wasn't trying to see anything in the 90s.
Hey, I told my homeboy this, bro. I told my homeboy this. We all can be tough. We all can be from the street. We all can want to just provide smoke for anybody. But we also are aware of who is the top dog. And Michael Jordan's the top dog. As much as you want to fight, and I tell folks this on Facebook, oh, I would have did this to Jordan, I would have did it. No, you would not have.
No, you wouldn't have.
He was the top dog. You wouldn't have. You're not going to jeopardize your job just for some prideful situation. And Jordan, at least with Jordan, you knew he came at you with the principle. Like, I know you can be better than what you are. So as far as people saying he's a bully with Scott Burrell and Steve Kerr, you know that Steve Kerr shot the ball a whole lot better after he blacked his eye. And, I mean, I'm not condoning violence, but He shot the ball a whole lot better, and he got the
Yeah.
ball a lot more once Jordan blacked his eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scott Burrell,
Yeah, that's the only
he
person
provided a spark too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only person that can say that he would have fought Jordan was Steve Kerr because he swung
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
He swung first.
He
Thank
swung
you,
first.
dog.
He
Scotty,
swung
thank you.
first. He
Jordan was a sense defending himself.
but
Steve Kerr said, "Forget this."
Yeah, and it's crazy because like Steve Kerr, like he has an interesting backstory as well with his dad.
Yeah,
and
with
so
his dad
you
and
can tell that he wasn't. Yeah, you could tell he wasn't no punk. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Scott talked about people getting documentaries off of this. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve Kerr eventually got a documentary.
I see that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, I think Craig Hodges should have one. Again, we laughed about it initially, but then after you sat and thought about it, he was like, wait, he got a lot to talk about.
I think they're gonna tie it into one. I think like you'll start to see like more interviews from like Horace Grant, Craig Hodges, maybe like Stacey King. What's the guy? Cliff Levis.
We don't need to see
I just watched the finals when Cliff Levis was fouled and then took Magic head off when he drove to the rim.
Yeah, what's the other guy? Scott Williams. Like we'll hear more from them because those are the guys that I wanted to hear from. The guys that were really just along for the ride. Yeah.
And I mean, and all in all, the documentary was well put together. I don't know if it's because we don't have anything else to watch, or was it really that good?
Partly.
I think
it's partly. Yeah, the core team played a role, and partly, they gave us a lot of backstories that kept us intrigued. Like we were all anticipating like the finals and the process and things like that, but giving us the backdrop of Scotty and Dennis, Kerr, like. The look and Phil. Now, the Phil story blew me away. I did not know that about Phil. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a hippie. That made me understand how he managed personalities like a Dennis Rodman, like Shaq and Kobe. It made me better appreciate Phil Jackson because even though Tex Winter was the architect of the triangle, what Phil could do with personalities amazed me.
He was a pushover.
With the rise. Yeah. In the sense, he was a pushover. In the sense, he knew how to reach you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Phil was one of them dudes that was like, he was just one of them dudes like, you know what, bro? Do what you got to do, but just perform. And I ain't got no issue.
And that's exactly what he was. Like, you know what? Rodman, you ain't here. Scotty, you disrespecting the GM. Michael, you smoking cigars in the locker room. I don't care. Just get me the W.
Yeah, but
get me the W.
But you know what? That kind of brings is almost like everybody couldn't get away with that. Scott Burrell couldn't get away with that. So and it's almost like what Jimmy Johnson said during that time with the Cowboys. He said, no, I'm sorry, it was Bill Parcells.
And it was Jimmy Johnson.
No, it was Jimmy Johnson. He said it was Jimmy. He said Emmitt Smith could get away with a lot more than a Jason Garrett, or because hey, there's tiers and there's levels. So I mean, I
had a coach tell me this. I mean, because I had a coach, Mike Daly, tell me this when I was playing arena football at Colorado Crush. He just said, "Look, everybody not the same, and I can't coach everybody the same. Right. If I gotta chew your ass out to get the best out of you, then that's what I'm gonna do. But if I gotta pamper this kid to get the best out of him, that's what I'm gonna do. It's all about getting the best out of each individual, and you'll learn this as you mature and as you become a leader. Everybody can't be policed the same. I know everybody wants a zero tolerance, but it doesn't really work. When it comes to winning and managing personalities, you got to meet people where they at. And I think that's what Phil did. He met you where they at. And even Mike, because people always say, well, Mike never said nothing to Rodman. Rodman always did a job. Mike only said something to you if he felt like you weren't giving your all or you were falling short. That's what made me think that Mike wasn't a bully, because if you
I didn't think he was a bully.
He didn't mess with you. Yeah, he just didn't mess. He was a tough love guy.
But Hawk, you brought something up in your podcast that I think was been lost in basketball: the role player. Phil Jackson made it cool for people to be role players. You know what I mean? He defined people's roles, and he got people to buy into, like, look, you only rebound, we don't want you to shoot. You only shoot the three. We don't need you driving or trying to get all these assists. Ron Harper, we know you were poor man's Jordan 10 years ago. You're not now.
Back in Cleveland. Yep.
Yeah, you're not. Oh, see, I told you I got people who agree with me, man. He was poor man's
in
Jordan.
Cleveland. He was a poor man's Jordan. Like no joke. That's why it was funny when he came out and said I would have been checking Jordan, and to see Craig Elo and Mark Price, like, where did that come from? You never checked Mike. Like Craig always checked Mike. So, that's a great point because it wasn't just in Chicago. You look at the Lakers, their role players embraced their role. You know what I'm saying? A guy like Derek Fisher embraced what he did. Robert Ory embraced what he did. Even Horace Grant. Remember, he went to LA and won a ring with them. Yep. He embraced his role. And I think that's what makes Phil such a great coach because it's that buy-in, bro. It's like a used car salesman. Like, look, man, be the best in this lane. DJ Armstrong, be the best in this lane. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's how he got Mike to buy in because, like, look, all right, I'm asking them to embrace what they do. Now you got to trust them. And that's why we go back to the first finals. Mike averaged 31 and 11. He had one less rebound game than the great Magic Johnson, but he's supposed to have been a ball hawk. But if you look at the first 3 or 4 games, he had more assists than Magic did. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike was able to facilitate, but back then the game was shooting guard, you shoot. Point guard, you get assists.
Right.
Unless you were Zeke. You know what I'm saying? You had your anomalies. But the game has evolved now. That's why I never like to compare LeBron does more than Mike. Mike wasn't asked to do that. When Mike was thrust into being a point guard, he averaged a triple-double. I'm not saying he can sustain that, but I can only go off that data. You know the game is resistant now, so it's different.
You know what I can appreciate from the documentary? All the teams that Jordan had to go through that you forgot about. That Indiana team that they highlighted.
The Davis brothers, not the brothers, but the Davis boys.
Yeah.
Davis boys, Rick Smith, Chris Mullin, Travis Best, Jalen Rose. I mean, that team was Reggie Miller.
Mark Jackson, all of them was there, bro. That's not only a good 5, but that's like at least 8 to 9 players that can give you buckets.
Right.
Those are 60-win teams. You feel what I'm saying? Like those aren't pushovers. I know we talk about LeBron and Golden State. We should. Great team that he beat. But when you look at the 60-win teams that Mike and Pippen had to go through to reach their 6th through this documentary, you really appreciate them. People always talk about Mike didn't really go against anybody. I mean, that's the Supersonics team. That was a real good team. That Portland Trail Blazers team was a real good team. Phoenix, real good team. Both Utah teams, real good team.
Yeah, but not only did I forget about Indiana, it was different to hear Michael Jordan say, "Nah, that was my hardest series."
Yeah,
that's what surprised me the most about Indiana was I was like, "Wow, really?"
But I think he means his hardest series when he started winning. Because
I agree with that.
Because
it was the Pistons before that.
Yeah. And I mean, and that made sense. But MJ, he kind of I didn't see them winning 8 in a row. I'm sorry. After watching that, like I just told Scott a little earlier, I know that was the story. Like what MJ scored. I mean, MJ retired that year and a half. If he would have been there, they would have won 8 straight. And nah, I couldn't see it, man.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I could agree with that. It's like either or. I could see both sides just because if his dad doesn't pass away, he was still exhausted.
He was exhausted. Right.
And he didn't really have a chip on his shoulder. And I just think when he stepped away, he built that chip back up, just seeing how the league was going, how the Bulls, after that first year without him, was struggling. The MLB strike, I didn't realize that. The MLB strike is the reason why he came back. That was the first time he was dormant. Like he had nothing to compete with. You know what I'm saying? So he went back in the gym with BJ, and lo and behold, he's like, all right, I'm coming back. If it wasn't for the strike, I don't think MJ would have came back. And the fact that he didn't go to the majors and step across the picking line too showed a lot about Mike. Because he could have just been like, oh, my dream, my pops wanted me to play in the major league. It's a strike. I got a free pass to go play in the majors, and he didn't. he just went back and played basketball.
Yeah, I think Nike played a part in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nike was like, wait a minute.
And what was Space Jam talked about too? Because movies take years.
Yeah, so he wasn't retired yet. And I was a little weary of that because all those guys came to the set. So Space Jam came out what, 95? 96?
95, 96, yeah.
So I'm almost certain that they were, I don't know.
It had to be done before. I want to say while he was playing baseball, he had to know that was in the pipeline. Unless things have changed since how they do scripts and stuff today versus back then. But
it might have been longer. It might have taken longer.
The fact he did Space Jam after Orlando punished him, and how he rededicated himself. See, we wasn't privy to that. Like when I was growing up, I was in high school, late high school, and we didn't have social media, so I never knew that.
Yeah, I never knew anything.
That was the type of stuff in the doc that I liked. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I couldn't get from Sam Smith's book, the stuff I couldn't get what Come Fly With Me. Like that, when I saw that, I was like, damn, that is true. Baseball shape and basketball shape and the body and the muscles what you use is this. And when Penny and them punished them, and Nick Anderson is the reason why he won 3 in a row. Like NBA need to be mad at Nick for saying what he said. Because he still would have wore 45 if it wasn't for Nick.
Yep.
I don't know. Why do dudes just feel like they got to say something?
And it's crazy because you notice how much people used to test them, and it seemed like every time in the doc, it was like this person said this. Byron Russell, what are you thinking?
Oh, what are you thinking? Oh, he's a jokester. That ain't a joke.
Like, why you retire? Why you retire?
I was gonna kill you. I was gonna lock you up.
Are you
if I was Karl Malone, I would have hit that man with a bottle of Rogaine. Like, man, you get your tail out of here.
But he's a rookie, Mike. Mike was one of them people that even if he didn't say anything to you, he was gonna make up something just to get himself going.
Yo, is he a psycho or what? Is he a psycho competitor or what?
Yes.
You got 37 on this dude. He really ain't say that. You got people thinking he said, "Good game, Mike," or "You all right, Mike," or whatever. And you dropped 37, and you really got us thinking he disrespecting you. And then years later, you're like, "Nah, I made that up." Like, yo, you're a psycho.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And what's the guy's name from the Wizards? Well, I guess it was the Bullets then that scored that 30. He had that great
game.
That's
what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I forgot his name though.
Oh,
yeah, he scored 37 in the game. And Mike said he was going to do it in the first half, and he went and did. It was a back-to-back.
Yeah, which never happened.
And Mike claimed that he said, "Good game, Mike," in a sarcastic way.
Now that was bullying. That's bullying.
How you say? Because the teammates probably were letting that kid have it too. Like, man, I can't believe I didn't say nothing. Yes, you did.
Shoot, I think it was Steve Smith that was talking. He said they were playing one game. And he
was backwards.
Yeah, 48. 46.
Counting. How special you got to be, bro. Like, we all play in our sport, right? Mm-hmm. We know when you overconfident, something bad usually happens.
The
fact that he's overconfident counting backwards and it happens in basketball?
Like if he was to just say that, like walking, and say that he did that, I'd be like, no, you didn't. But when you got people confirming this stuff, that's
how about the Kevin Garnett story?
What happened
when he said that Isaiah Ryder was talking crazy to Mike?
Oh gosh!
And then when Reggie Miller talked about in the preseason game, so Isaiah Ryder was cooking, apparently, and started talking trash. And Mike looked at him like, "Oh, okay." And Kevin Garnett said, "Jordan just turned up."
Damn.
And just went nuts. Almost like when Reggie Miller said in the preseason game, my fault. In the preseason game, when he got off on Mike that first half and was feeling good, and Mike came out in the second half, dropped 30 and said, "Don't ever talk to me." I was happy to see that they were cool though, because when Reggie came for doing the interview, Mike was waiting on him and said, "How you doing, brother? Hope the family's good." Like, I like to see that part of Mike, because as much as Mike is a butthole as far as nobody can compete with him, he will extend his hand out to the opponent. That's why I do
Right.
like I do respect about Mike. Like he's a competitive dude. Like with the like GP did lock him up in a sense. Like the numbers show that he gave him fits. He might have been going through something with his dad, but the numbers showed that was Mike's worst final versus Supersonic. When you look at it totality, that was his worst final.
That Supersonics team would have won the championship any other year. That was a
Any other
really
year.
good Supersonics team that is
Yes, it
lost
was.
in basketball history. That was a
And
good
Sean
team.
Kemp was dunking all on them fools. He was giving Rodman the business.
Gary Payton. I mean, that was a really good team that I don't think people understand that. And you kind of said it when you started talking about like he had good teams that he went against. That Utah team was a good team.
And
they weren't flashy.
Nah.
They just did their job.
They had two Hall of
We get too caught up in the eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like I love like boxing. We get caught up in that flashy boxer versus that fundamental guy that just always find a way to win. You know, we love the Roy Joneses, but it's the Bernard Hopkins that the longevity shows you how special they was. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is, I think, with today's game when they want to compare competition. They just say, you know, the athlete's better. And that's why Jordan would do this. But I just look at this. As much as the athletes are better, they still don't play no defense.
That is true. they don't play no defense.
Well, that's a good
now, I mean, it's a couple, but
that's overall. A good point. But the other thing that this documentary highlights is Jordan was the best finisher of all time. He no matter what he was going through, he was going to close you out one way or another. Right. And we just haven't seen that in an athlete since or even before that. When it's time to go head to head, I'm going to win. I'm going to tell you.
And you know, and God rest his soul, I think Kobe is the closest, just because Kobe approached the game and lived in the present light, Mike. And if you remember, when Kobe ran Shaq out, he was public enemy number one. Everybody hated him. They didn't understand it. That's because he was holding Shaq accountable. Like, bro, you out of shape. You making me carry everything, and you getting all this praise, and people saying you carrying me. So I'm the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. And he went through his bumps as well when he threw the series versus the Suns. You know, when he said, look, I need some help, and I'm going to show y'all. And then he got Kyle Gasol, and he ended up winning versus Orlando, and then the Celtics. But Kobe, the reason why Kobe is so loved is because he had the mentality like Mike. And we just love Mike so much because he was the first little guy that became the vocal point to lead a championship dynasty. Before then, it was the McHale's and the Parrish Whitbird, and you had Kareem with Magic. You had big men with the little guy.
Right.
Mike was the first to have a little guy with the Scottie Pippen, another little guy, and he was the face. So that's why I think we love Mike, because he was that ultimate transition from the big guys always getting the love, because it was dominated by big guys when Mike came in.
And now no big guys get no love like that.
Exactly, unless you're Giannis.
Right.
Or you know, AD. You know what I'm saying? It took LeBron to vouch for AD because people was forgetting about him in New Orleans, saying he couldn't win.
Yeah, and I still think when they come back, they're gonna win the championship. But that's just
yeah, I think they are too. And I respect LeBron the most, man. And I just hate the comparison. I just really feel like their mentality shouldn't allow you to really compare them. I put LeBron with Magic. He's a Magic Johnson lane, in my opinion. I always put Kobe with Jordan because they're one and the same. That was his little brother. And out of respect for Bron, I put him with Magic. You know, Magic's the dude that went to the finals, what?
9 times?
9 and 12.
12 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
To Bron, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bron always went to the finals. He always going to the finals. He's a big guy, point forward. He basically a point guard. I mean, let's be honest. He's been playing point since he's been in the NBA. I know he lives as a small forward, but he's a point guard.
He's a point guard. Well, all right, man. What let everybody know where they can reach you.
Hey, man, you can reach the Ballhawk Show podcast on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, and also YouTube. If they ever want to interact live, just go to YouTube, And also, Blog Talk Radio, I used to have live shows where you can call in on the switchboard. All I got to do is come in on Facebook or YouTube, and I list the number. And if they want Shut the Hell Up Juice gear, go to sthujuice.com, go to myhawkins.com for any of my podcasts. They all funnel there. So
one thing I did want to say before you left, one of the most hardest things to do in this business is to do a podcast by yourself, and you hold that down. I
appreciate that.
I'm not going to say it's easy to do a podcast with two people, but it's a lot easier. But the way that you can keep your audience entertained with everything that you do and do that by yourself.
That means a lot, bro.
I ain't gonna go that way, but yeah.
No, he's definitely petty.
But seriously, man, that means a lot because my alter ego Petty Hawk is really my competitive side of when I play ball. Like that's the energy you got when I was competing, and it's hard for me to do that when I'm not competing because that's really not me. Because I don't like to be vindictive or vicious towards folks. I like to be like humble and receptive. But that's in a sense my co-host for me to go Petty Hawk, and it's just one day. I just always talk about the Skip Baylors and the Jason Whitlocks and those troll lane guys that do a phenomenal job. And I was like, I need to create a troll character in my own self to where I can kind of just say anything and blame it on an alter ego. So yeah, that's where that came from.
But definitely, what's up, man?
Hey Hawk, that's borderline psycho too. Just
I am, man. I'm different, bro. I'm an only child, man. I'm an only child, so I had voices in my head and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, but I definitely appreciate y'all guys. I'm always in tune with what y'all are doing, man. I try to support any and everybody because we all in it together.
Absolutely.
We all need to uplift each other. And anytime y'all need me to be a guest and off the record, definitely will always be a place that I'll come visit, man.
My man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, y'all be blessed, bro. Stay safe.
Same to you.
You too.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was the Ballhawk right there. And Scott, I hope we still got more. We got more. So
I'm good. Computer charge. I'm ready.
Okay. So we're gonna bring on Ezra McNeill, recent Virginia State grad, man. Let's bring on the Trojan. Ezra, what's going on, man?
Yo, y'all hear me? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
We can hear you, man. What's going on?
Man, I can't complain. I think that Scotty, can you say something? Because I really can't hear you for some reason. It's just like blocked out on my end.
Oh, can you hear me a little bit better now?
I can't hear you at all.
All right, so go out and come back in, and we'll get that straight. All right. Yeah. All right, so technical difficulties that happens, especially when you live.
Aunt Riley.
Ain't no Aunt Riley. You can hear me. You can hear me. But I'm telling you, when anybody says, "Can you hear me?" It's just hilarious now, man. It's like the funniest thing ever. I think I'm gonna get a T-shirt made that says, "Can you hear me?" I'm gonna get that. All right, so he's back. He's back. All right, what about now?
I can hear you. Scott.
All right, yo, can you hear me now?
We good.
Good.
Let's go, man.
Hey, man, congratulations, man. Graduation from the greatest HBCU, greatest school of all time.
Oh, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I got one question before you started. Before we get started, what dorm did you stay in as a freshman?
One of the greats.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't in. You hear me?
I get.
Yeah. I was in quads. I wasn't in the village. I wasn't back there.
He was spoiled. He was spoiled, Scott. He was spoiled, Scott.
Spoiled.
Nah, we was in Williams.
Yeah, Williams Hall.
No.
We was in the hood. We was in the hood, but yeah, man. So a backstory. I met Ezra last year. Your junior year.
Yes.
I was speaking at HBCU day, night, whatever, at the Wizards for the Wizards. Mm-hmm. That was that time we met, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. That was actually the second time we met. Earlier, probably a month before that, some of the high school kids that I coach, I brought them to Virginia State, and we're walking through the campus, and Ezra was with another young man, and they just stopped to talk to these kids that may have been coming. They were just recruits, and they just stopped. They just stopped talk to these guys real quick. And it was cool. He didn't even. I remember him from that, because he had like a lively type attitude, and it was like, oh, this kid got something. And so when I seen him at HBCU night, I was like, I gravitated towards him, and I was like, yo, you don't even remember me, but you remember remember when we talked about that? Out of nowhere, yep. And so it was just crazy, man. And he has his own podcast, and I tune in. I would listen to every episode, but yeah, man, he has a future in this media thing, man.
So tell us a little bit more about your podcast.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Ant, because I do my best. I really do. So it's called Real Talk with Ezra, and it's been over a year now since it's been out. And I just go by the motto: real people, real issues, real talk. And just from that alone, just every conversation, every episode that I do is just really just having just real conversations about topics that we, especially in the Black community, we usually sweep under the rug. So from domestic violence, recently I've been doing episodes by myself now, like with words of encouragement and things of that nature, especially with the quarantine, but doing interviews and really thought-provoking conversations with my mom, interviews with President Abdullah. So I really just have conversations about certain things that everybody really goes through from a young adult's perspective. So that's really it.
Yep. So what so how was it your senior year? You're getting ready to graduate, and the pandemic comes, and so how was that, and how did you have to adjust?
I don't even want to talk about graduation. I just want to talk about spring fling. All right, spring fling was like, that was the number one thing I was really trying to anticipate, because I was part of TAB. You see right here, I was part of the Chosen Activities Board, being the chair of talks and lectures. So we had.
You got to explain spring fling. You got to explain it.
Basically, is the homecoming for the students. Like, we all know that homecoming is for alumni, during the fall. But for spring, like, it was for us to have our fun, let our hair down and just go all out. I'm just be real.
Bring back some memories.
So it was really that time to really, and we was all working hard, everybody, especially the senior class in Mass Comm, because besides of, going crazy with credits, because I graduated this semester, I did 21 credits, and that's 7 classes. Including at the radio station. And I'm talking about, I'd be there like from 3-4 in the afternoon to, there was one weekend I was there until 4 in the morning. Helping out Ms. Williamson. Shout out to WVST, the source pod. Like, I was there nonstop because, of course, I wanted to get my hours very quickly so I could have fun at spring fling, but I also I'm hungry. Like, this is what I want to do, and any type of opportunity or access that I could grab onto, I'm going to do any and everything that makes me, on the top of the food chain, honestly.
Right. All right. So what's next? Well, what do you have planned, post graduation?
Well, after it's been, let me tell you, I always go by everything happens for a reason. God always has a plan. You know what I'm saying? His will is not easy, but it's good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had internships set up with a few different agencies and whatnot in New York. But of course they got postponed. And it's crazy because I just, before coming on here, I had just got off a Zoom meeting because I just got introduced back into a fellowship with the Advertising Club in New York. As well as another initiative that they're trying, especially people trying to be in the industry, they're doing, trying to make it the best out of this situation, like doing lunch and learns online and actually trying to get us to do work so we can have some type of experience once we get out of here. But with all that, I'm not even in New York. I'm in North Carolina with my dad because my mom was don't come up here until stuff is
right. Yeah, man, it's crazy up there.
It's really crazy. But my whole thing was, once I get out, like I'm going hard, just like really networking, trying to create content. So thank God, shout out to Urban News, because I was just given the opportunity to be a media correspondent with them. It's been like over a week now, and I already had the opportunity to interview Brandon T. Jackson, as well as Michael Perkins, who was in Hardball, who was Kofi Evans.
Yeah,
that was with that Try to Protect G Baby.
Right.
So I'm really doing my best to continue to network and continue to have that fire, because I know I'm not the only one in this situation. Right. And I always just try to really be optimistic about anything, because it's difficult, really, especially for mass comm and people in media, because it's difficult to work from home, especially when you don't have the resources. So just trying to continue to create content and really just push my name out there.
Okay. So I'm give you one. Have you heard of NABJ?
Oh yeah, I'm in the group chat.
Okay,
I'm not
my man.
I don't pay dues, but I'm in the group chat.
So. You was a student, so your dues was only like $70 or $75. But
hey, that's a lot of money for a student.
No, I know, but I tell you this, and you probably already know this, but use NABJ to your advantage, man. No matter what. I mean, because between meeting people and networking, and talking to getting interviews, you can get a ton of interviews just from NABJ members. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's the thing, it don't necessarily have to be the Mark Spears or the David Aldridges, but you could get someone who's on Fox Sports and the local networks, So it's just, I mean, it's just about the experience, and I think you're gonna be on your way, man.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. For real.
So you mentioned you're from New York, so that means you're a Giants fan, a Knicks fan, and a Yankees fan, right?
Giants, Knicks, Yankees, all day.
All right, so it's time to go. It's time to wrap this up. It's time to wrap this up.
I'm a Knicks fan. So how's this Sean C?
I'm not gonna die. I'm not going to try and be a homie hopper. No disrespect to anybody else that lost faith in New York, but I'm gonna keep orange and blue skies all day.
That's it.
That's the only thing good about the Knicks are their colors.
Stop it. And it was so funny because I know you always talk about The Last Dance. I think me personally, when it came to Jordan, because the whole Last Dance was so eye-opening, because I thought I knew. Although I'm only 22, I really love nostalgia and old school stuff. So watching The Last Dance, it felt like I was literally there, every single game of his career. And what I was just kind of offended how he just hated the Knicks, the nickel, the 55-point game, and him just talking trash to Spike and all that stuff. I was just like, he just had it out for New York. Nobody else, just New York, really.
It seems that way.
It really did. But it was just I think he just had a vendetta for the Knicks. That's
something that they don't talk about. A lot of those guys used to hang out off the court, right, during those series. Yeah, and I know I can remember Jeff Van Gundy being mad calling Jordan a con man because he felt like he'd be up all night playing cards with him. They'd be drinking and stuff like that, and he'd get on the court and just destroy him.
Crazy. Don't talk to me after that. No. I'm sorry.
Well, him and Charles Oakley was so cool.
And Oakley was there before he was a Bull before he became a Knick. So it was, and I liked how his growth, especially in the 80s, how when Hawk was talking about the little guy, right? And it seemed like on the court he was more so protected with Oakley and the other bigs. But then, once they left and Horace Grant left and stuff like that, he just became a dog, honestly, because it was ruthless after that, if we want to be real. He was that little brother, but then he just became the big dog out of nowhere.
Yep. And I mean, a lot of people said the bully. I think he bullied his opponents more than he did his teammates. I don't really think he bullied his teammates. I think he was just it was like Hawks. It was tough love. Like how I am with Scott. Like with Scott, I'm real tough with Scott. I'm real tough. So when we play ball, like if when Scott play ball. I gotta put him in his place, man. You know, it's just it is what it is.
Now, that's fine.
I don't even think you,
Scott. We play,
and you've never probably even scored when we played.
He's such a lie, Scott.
Listen,
one thing Scott does well.
I know I gave you work when
I said.
I gave you work.
One thing Scott does well is tell stories.
My God.
He is great at telling stories.
He ain't gonna Jordan me.
But
he ain't gonna Jordan me.
But nah, man. I know you said you had to go. I don't know if you got more time. We can still kick it.
Yeah, I know we got some more time.
All right, cool. So now so here's the thing. We graduated like around 03, 04, right? And don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do. All right, you got
me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So, and you just got. You're a 2020 grad, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you even say that? Why'd you even say are you here?
I don't know. But I.
And I'm not 04.
No, I'm 04. I was 04. I was 04. Yeah, I said you were 03. I was 04. So the campus has changed tremendously from when, even just think about your 4 years from when you were a freshman to now, how much has changed on campus.
Absolutely.
So just imagine when we first got there to now. It's light years ahead.
Yeah, to pay for AC.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we didn't have AC in our room. Like when we were freshmen, we didn't have AC in our room.
Or internet.
Or internet. Yeah. We had to go to a computer lab. And cable. We only had cable. We didn't even have cable. We had direct TV in the lobby. So when we were freshmen, here's a quick story.
No washer and dryer.
Yeah. When you had to go to the laundromat
right next to the calf.
Boulevard.
No, on the calf, by the calf.
And on the boulevard. You're right. On the boulevard across from McDonald's. There's a laundromat there. Yeah.
So it used to be times like this. When we like our freshman year, again, there were only the big TV in the lobby. We didn't even have a TV in the basement. And so Monday nights was crazy because you had Monday Night Raw, and you had Monday Night Football. And at that time, Monday Night Football was still coming on ABC, which was free for us. But if you was in your room, it wasn't clear. So you're gonna have like this. Listen, when I tell you we were in the hood at that point, we were. Yeah. So it used to be battles between guys wanting to watch Monday Night Football and watch Monday Night Raw.
Wow. I'd rather, if I was there, I'm watching Raw though. I can't lie. I'm watching Raw.
I think it depends. It depends. It depends on who's playing. Because if your team is playing, you're gonna want to watch Monday Night Football.
I'm a huge wrestling fan. So
yeah, I am too.
Like, so I think, especially during that time, 03, like ruthless aggression was really like on the rise.
Right.
Like you seen especially, Angle, Rock going crazy. Stone Cold.
You got to think, even in '99, that's around the time with the Monday Night Wars. So you had Monday Night Nitro. WCW Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw. Yeah. And so it was crazy because we were 18, 19 years old, but we were like huge wrestling fans. A lot of people was. And then you had guys that they wanted to watch Monday Night Football. And it was just crazy, man.
I was always part of the Monday Night Football crew. But lucky for me, I had a good antenna. My dad squared me away with a little Walmart antenna, and I could get it in my room. So I was good.
Yeah. So but yeah, man, I'm happy with what President Abdul has done with the school. I think the school's like when he took over, Virginia State was in like huge financial issues. And he's just so relatable. When we were there, we had Eddie Moore, and Eddie Moore was like, he was friends with Uncle Phil, right?
Right.
And so he was almost like that uncle type figure. No, he was more the father figure. He's like a father type figure, but like the mean dad that he like, make sure you go to school, blah, blah, blah. President Abdullah, he's more like the uncle that's cool. He relates, he goes to all the games. He's the cool uncle at the cookout.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Eddie Moore at any of the games.
You don't see Eddie, you didn't see Eddie Moore.
What I heard that Eddie Moore would like just drive around campus in that truck or whatever. Like he was being driven around the campus. That's what I heard.
Honestly, I
saw Eddie Moore one time, and that was when I graduated.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that when the years I was there, I may have seen him 3 times, maybe 4, and in person. And two of those times was graduation, you know. So it may have been what's the thing every freshman has to go to? Oh my God!
The like
freshman orientation.
Not the orientation, but
y'all know
what I'm talking about.
Freshman introduction.
Yeah, and it's So you may have him there, but you didn't see him much. You see President Abdullah everywhere.
And that's what I like about Abdullah, because like you said, he's very relatable. And these are my last remarks because they called me for this interview. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I didn't expect it to be this admin. But President Abdullah, he was just so, and I guess we're in an age now that if you're not relating or you're not telling a story that people could like see like physically and be attracted to, nobody's gonna pay attention to you. And I think that's another big reason why there was like many teachers and stuff now like engaging with us on Twitter and on Instagram and whatnot, because like to keep our attention to keep being in tune with what's all that's happening on and off campus, just regardless if it's, just saying like, yo, at me if I had to fill out the fall semester, you know what I'm saying? Or just even just having a conversation like, yo, who had the best dorm or whatever like that.
Right.
The engagement that really just made us respect Abdullah a whole lot more, and the faculty, because I call some of them my teachers like uncle, dad, like mom, you know what I'm saying? Because they also just help groom me throughout these 4 years, and I'm very appreciative of it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you can't get at other universities that you can get at Virginia State, is that personal interaction with the teachers and the faculty. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. But hey, man, real quick before you go, because we appreciate you coming on. Let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, yeah. Once again, my name is Ezra McNeill. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Real Talk with Ezra. Ezra is EZRA. Some people spell it all kinds of crazy ways, but Real Talk with EZRA. And if you ever want to, feel free to check out an episode. I'm on all platforms, regardless if it's Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, a whole bunch of minor websites, but I'm everywhere. If you just Google it or something like that, I'm there for you guys.
I'm definitely gonna check you out, man.
Please do.
All right. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna see y'all later. All
right, man.
Thanks.
Peace.
Yeah, man. So that's I'm proud of that man, yo. I'm proud of him because he got a bright future.
You're proud of him.
Yeah, he got a bright future, man.
He's a good guy, man. Good guy.
So I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you, right? Cam Newton. We know he doesn't have a team yet. Do you think he will be picked up before September?
So I have a theory on Cam Newton. I don't know if this is all generated from the teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's going through some child support stuff.
And they posted that. That's man.
No. But Pete Gang, I don't know if he's trying to sign the big payday until that irons out.
Mm-hmm.
So it just all depends on how that goes.
So I
I'm
think
just put that out there.
So you think that he has? So you think he's waiting for a big payday to cover the child support?
No, I think he's trying to get all that resolved before he has a big payday.
So but
he's unemployed now.
Come on, man. He still has. He's not necessarily unemployed because he has what do you call it? He still has endorsements.
Yeah, but if he signs that big payday, it's a little bit different. That's just my theory. I'm just throwing it out there.
Explain that, man, because
so if he signs for big money, right? Mm-hmm. He's entitled to pay more. He'll still have to pay something, mm-hmm. But I guess it's to his advantage to not sign nowhere and to get it all resolved, then sign for the big payday. And look, I haven't heard anything, from anywhere. This is purely my conspiracy. You know what I mean? Right. This is my thoughts.
Okay. All right. So, well, we'll see. We'll see about that.
I haven't read that anywhere. I don't want anybody to say that's out there.
That's breaking news.
Giving a different perspective.
All right. So look, one last thing. So this week we about to bring somebody else on, Scotty. So this weekend, so we do the battles, right?
Okay.
We do battles, and so when I Earn Kane brought some information to my attention that some of our other fellow Trojans were doing battles, and like, oh, wait a minute now. So let me bring Marcus on here real quick. My man.
Man.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Hey, so we got somebody here who thinks they're the self-proclaimed, mind you, I say self-proclaimed king of R&B. So I didn't take too kindly with that.
I'm with him, man. I'm rooting for Chinky.
Of course you are. You always root
yeah.
So don't worry, Scott. You'll be there. So what's gonna happen is this Sunday, and you know what? You gotta get some light, man, because you ain't gonna be doing this quiet storm type vibe with us, okay? Get some light. but so there you go.
So let me ask you this: is anything up for steak?
Nah, we do it. It's just fun.
Nothing for steak, but bragging rights.
Bragging, absolutely. I think that's what
everybody that comes on this show is always subjected to the Yoke 'em Up challenge,
and not me.
And I've always battled for the show, so I won't put Ann up there. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
I'm not doing the Yoke 'em Up challenge, so you can.
If Ann loses,
you talking about the hot chip thing?
No, I'm talking about if Ant loses, he needs to crack an egg over his head.
Yeah.
And so look, right? If Ant wins, I guess I got the egg. What's up, Ant?
Let's do it.
What's up, Ant?
and you with that?
So you got to crack your egg too, though. If both y'all crack your egg, then I'll do it. Is that little man right there?
You get 2 for 1 though.
I don't like doing this challenge. I don't like doing this challenge. If you got to
get undefeated.
Who? No, you done cracked the egg on your head, Scott.
But not on the show.
Well, we put it this way. We could do something else. We could do something else.
We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna have to talk about. I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, but go ahead with the rules, man. I ain't mean to cut you off.
You good? So it's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of folks from state there. Maybe some other people. So for us to have that, man, we'll probably just post it after. We'll record it and then post it after. I know YouTube and Facebook, and they're gonna try and flag it again because we're gonna be playing some hits, but it is what it is, you know. We'll see.
So
but
what time is it going on? We doing this, y'all doing it Sunday?
Sunday at 6, right? Sunday at 6?
6 was the agreed time.
Yeah, Sunday at 6. Okay. So it'll be
that's
5
before my bedtime, so we're good.
So I mean, go ahead, Marcus. The floor is yours, man. What you got to say, man?
Hey, man, I play to win.
All right.
I mean, as simple as that. I could say more, but why? There's no need.
Oh my God.
So let me ask. So it's just you two, or anybody else gonna join in?
It's just us two.
I prefer the one-on-one.
Yeah, and so and I'm cool with that too, because initially
the judges.
So we haven't gotten all the judges yet. We'll have them by
Scott, you should be a judge.
No, because he's not going to be impartial.
Come on, man.
He already said it.
That's not fair.
Yeah, listen, he's always against me.
Okay. Okay.
How is the guest going to argue for me to get judged?
And then
I'm not always against you.
But listen, and then you
can say you did a good job the last time you battled. I didn't think you should have won.
You see, he didn't think I should have won. So it's cool. It's cool. But just actually, Marcus played basketball for Virginia State as well. He's a I don't know if you saw, we had Ezra. He just graduated this past week.
Okay.
They didn't have no they didn't have the ceremony because of everything that's going on. But he was just talking about how we all was talking about how different, campus life was from when we were there to now.
Man, right. We had to take them back to Williams Hall.
Yeah.
Well, see, I stayed in per year.
Ooh.
Oh my! So you were bougie. So you was on the bougie side of town.
Listen, y'all was in the hood. I was in the suburbs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Perry is not even around anymore, which is crazy.
Nah, man,
That's crazy.
It hurts my heart. That hurts my heart. But
hey,
actually, this past homecoming, I walked over there to see what was there.
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's nothing over there.
So they don't even have the band. The field. That's where the band practices at, right?
Well, yeah, that's where the band practices at. But they're expanding that area, though.
Yeah. I guess there's some ladies that went to the school who there's a bunch of their dorms knocked down. So I guess we can't really. Yeah.
Which lady dorms got knocked down? What you think of off the top of your head?
Howard, I know for sure because that's where they built the quads.
Okay.
So they knocked down Howard and put up 4 dorms.
Yeah.
I don't know what I be doing when I be at homecoming, but I don't be walking around there drinking. Probably. Yeah.
You be on the Ave. You be moving around.
Yeah, you be right in the middle, right by.
You right. You right. Yeah. Right there in front of Foster. You right.
Right.
But yeah, man. So this Sunday, 6:00. We battling, man. If y'all two agree to do the Yoke 'em Up challenge, I will do the Yoke 'em Up challenge.
Yeah, but you can't get 2 for 1, though. You can't get 2 for 1.
Why?
Well, I need Earn to do it with you.
Oh,
if we agree to that, I need Earn to do it.
Okay,
with you.
so if Earn agrees to the Yoke 'em Up challenge, then we have a deal.
I'm with it.
All right, man.
We might have to call Earn real quick, man.
I ain't doing that joint.
Earn better to do.
He damn sure. No, he damn sure don't. I'm gonna call him on. I'm gonna call him on speakerphone. I'm gonna call him on speakerphone and see if we can get him on here. Let's see if we can get him on.
I hope he answers. Please answer, Earn.
Y'all hear that? We'll see. We'll see. Yo. Hey, yo, Earn, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so I Earn, you're on off the record right now.
What's good? Shoot.
So listen. I am. So we got Chinky on the he's on live with us right now. And so Scott, see,
what's good, brother?
Oh, let me so he can hear you. So look, Scott proposed that if I win, he proposed the Yoke 'em Up challenge. You remember the Yoke 'em Up challenge, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Scott is picking Chinky to win. So he said if listen, if I win, I want both of them to do the Yoke 'em Up challenge. They said that they will only accept if you join in too. So if Chinky finds some possible way to win, that we both have to do the Yoke 'em Up challenge.
So you want me to do it just to do it, and I'm not even participating?
No. Listen. If I win,
I am.
If I win, Scott and Chinky has to do the Yoke 'em Up challenge. If Chinky somehow pulls a rabbit out the hat, then you and I have to do the Yoke 'em Up challenge.
Right, the egg to the face, right?
Over the head.
Over the head. Yeah, that is so annoying, yo. Like nothing or whatever.
My man. Okay, yeah, you got it. There you go.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So
wow.
I know, right? I know.
Ern, your aunt don't disappoint, Ern.
Nah, listen. I listen. Ever since we accepted that battle,
So now I definitely can't be a judge. So we gotta find.
Or Ern. Ern can't be.
Oh yeah, Ern can't be a judge either.
Yeah, I get okay.
That's the
That'd be interesting.
wow.
All right, so look.
Hey, who's the guy do it? They gotta do it on live video.
Yeah, so we'll do it live on the air to end the show next week. So look, all right, Ern, I'm gonna hit you back. All right. I don't think Ern's too happy about that.
Because
Ern
know the real.
No.
I'm coming
No. Listen. Don't make me turn on the loudspeaker right now. All right, I'm trying to
listen. Don't shoot your ammo.
So Chinky, this guy got me so good last year, so that's why I had to set him up with that joint. So all right, we good. Good.
I got you, bro.
All right.
So look.
That's
all right.
payback.
So
Because his catalog ain't as deep as mine. I know this.
you don't know this.
I know this. Like
Okay.
I could play songs that you may know,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know them.
We're gonna see.
You'll know because you've heard something from it before, but you ain't never heard the full song.
Okay.
If we go that route, you're gonna lose.
Listen.
You might get swept. I mean, if I go to the 70s, you ain't
go to the 70s. Listen. Like you said, you better play to win. All right?
Oh, I'm playing to win.
Play to win. Play to win.
Right, we gotta get the judges. So what? We're gonna do 3 judges.
It'll be 3 or 5. 3 or 5. However we got
it has to be odd number.
Yeah, 3 or 5. So we'll have all of that squared away before the weekend even gets here.
But see, Scott, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
With these battles that's been taking place, because I don't want to talk to Ant no more. He's the enemy now. But with these battles that have been taking place, how has the judging been? You know, because I've been a part of battle where there's been some biasness. You know, there's been some questionable decisions. You know, so you always been solid to me. So please tell me. Please tell me that the judges have all of the right flavor to be actual judges.
It's some robbery going on in some of them competitions. Yeah, it is.
Ooh,
it is some robbery. A matter of fact, Ern, who was just on, got robbed a lot.
Ooh. So it's been some very, very unbiased, very biased judging going on.
So this is what I will say, right? I think Ant won all the competitions that he won. Some of the rounds I was in disagreement with. But I think overall, I think he did actually win. So I think it's fair.
I'll say this real quick. I know
it's a fair competition.
I'll say this, Chinky. So it was one round. This is from matter of fact, I think I sent it to you, sent you the clip. I played Mariah Carey Fantasy with Old Dirty Bastard, right?
Right.
First of all, so we played in that round, you played 2 songs. I played that and I played Nelly and Kelly, Dilemma. Those are the 2 songs I played, right? So first of all, if you got Mariah Carey Fantasy with Old Dirty Bastard,
you deserve to win that.
Actually Earn won that round. Or was it Love? One of them won it. And you know what song he played? It was Love. And you know what song he played? He played Busta Rhymes featuring Janet Jackson. That's what beat my one.
But yeah, and the judge argued that song did more for him during that time period. So that's what I was questioning more with the judging, is not necessarily with the outcome, but I felt like some of it was like feeling more like, okay, I was dating this girl during this time, and I remember her.
Right. It was moments.
Yeah, it was moments, and it was like,
and I get that, but I think sometimes it's just common sense, man. That's Mariah Carey Fantasy Remix was one of the biggest songs.
It was.
So
Ant, I'm showing very unbiased behavior here. If you've been paying attention, I said you should have won that round. You know what I'm saying?
That don't mean I'm gonna take it easy on you.
I don't want you to take it easy. But listen, I have a proposal.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I have a proposal. Now you can agree or not.
Mm-hmm.
This is mainly for Scott, because since Scott, well, both of you are the hosts of this show.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott, I propose that you curate this. What I mean by that is you come up with. Hold on.
Oh, right, go ahead.
You come up with categories. So that we have to find and play.
Oh no, so we do that. We do that as well.
Hold on. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
And I'm just throwing this out here because it's a whole lot of these.
Okay.
But Scott, you would say, okay, for this round, you guys play a song that's played for the first dance at a wedding. Let's come up with categories like that. And we play songs to the category.
But you know what? I like that because it's not as open. All right. And it puts you on your game a little bit more.
Right.
So let me ask y'all this. Do you want me to send that to you in advance?
No.
Or is it going to be a surprise?
No.
Okay.
Because
I can do that.
That gives us no time to prepare for nothing, because only you know the categories.
Right.
Oh.
So when the battle starts, you just say, okay, round one. Again, I want y'all to play a song that's played at the first dance of a wedding. So we got 30 seconds to choose a song. Then you may say, okay, I know I'm giving up another category, but you may say a duet from the 80s.
Okay. No, I got y'all. All right.
I actually like that.
But I'm actually being kind of bland with it. Scott, you can spice it up however you choose.
I'm going to spice it up. But I got y'all. Okay. I got y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's actually better, because that takes out the unbiasedness from the judges, one.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us going deep into our catalog.
Okay.
Two. And it's a possibility that we might get stuck on what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. I'm saying? Like, if we only got 30 seconds to choose a song, it might take me 35 seconds to find the right song for what you saying.
Right.
And that automatically disqualifies.
So look, I think each person, if we throw that caveat, you should have 2 minutes. I think 30 seconds is a little.
Well, I said, let's say 1 minute, because
we could come up with that rule. Oh, we have unlimited time.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if
Yeah.
you got
No,
2
no, I
minutes,
feel
you're
you.
gonna find something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I want it
No,
to
no.
be pressure. I want the pressure to amount like, okay, I got 15 seconds to find a song. Shit, I don't know what to play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want it to be pressurized because that lets me know that you know what you're doing.
Okay. Let's get it then. Let's get it.
Y'all cool with that?
And I am cool with that. And you know what? I feel like Ant should be battle tested because he is just like devoted to music and off the record. So this is his chance to prove that he is worthy of playing the music and off the record. So at least me. I know
to you.
Hey, see,
Okay.
hey, Scott.
That's why
I propose you be the curator is because I already know that you ain't gonna slip him your categories beforehand.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, not
you
a
gonna
chance.
keep them all to yourself. You ain't even gonna tell no. You might tell your wife, but you ain't
Probably
gonna tell
won't.
them. He probably won't. I'm just saying he gonna keep it to himself
That's
until
fine.
battle day, and you gonna split these categories, and we gonna be like, oh shit, okay, gotta go find a song.
So and the judges won't know either.
Nah, nobody
knows.
knows.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I got it.
Okay. That's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
And that I think that gives everybody a complete baseline of unbiasedness.
Okay. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That might have been the smartest thing I've ever heard you say, man. Yeah, I'm throwing my shots now, man.
I hate him, son. God, I hate him. He's been a thorn in my ass for 20 years, man. You know what I'm saying? But I love that dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm definitely
I
with
think
that.
like again, the unbiasedness of this kind of battle makes it better because if Scott says, for instance, first dance wedding song, and somebody I'm just giving out because now that we're talking about it, I don't think Scott gonna say that as a category because we've been talking about it.
Right.
But just say if he says it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I play Anthony Hamilton Point of It All.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you may play Drew Hill Beauty.
Okay.
Which is the better wedding song? Not better song overall, but the better wedding song.
I believe Drew Hill Beauty, but
really,
I like
a better wedding song.
As a wedding song,
it's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song, but as a wedding,
I think it's the better song overall. But as far as the category of a wedding song,
I like Anthony Hamilton too. So,
I mean, for a wedding song, it's gonna be.
But that's a good reason why I'm not a judge.
Okay, fair enough.
So we'll get better judges in here that know what they're doing, got musical ears, and I'll be a fan. And I'm gonna try to throw you off, but I'm not gonna make it stupid throw you off. You know what I mean? I get it. I got you.
It's to your discretion, bro.
Okay.
It's whatever you come up with. You can come up with some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's up to us to find the correct song for that category.
Yep.
Okay.
Should be fun.
We'll see it.
And get it spicy. Scott, dig in your bag.
I am.
Don't
I got
be
you.
like, don't do no regular stuff like me and Ant talking that shit. So you got to give us something to make us really like, oh, okay.
So
you know
Ant,
what I'm saying?
So Ant, Chinky, he just upped the like Annie. So he's telling you that I don't just play songs. You could throw me whatever you want, and I'm going to fit the category. And you got to respond to that. That's pretty tough talk.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't. I took it as I thought it was a good idea. So I mean,
yeah. And I wasn't trying to come at you, Ant. I was just saying like I think that's a better battle.
And format, I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I do. I like it.
Songs because you could play, something from 2000s, and I could play an 80s song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay,
yeah.
Why are you choosing that song over this?
Right. It kind of gives you it gives you like a placeholder.
Right.
And it gives you like you don't have you're not this wide. It's like you right here. So
Right.
So get in this bag right here, and yeah, no. That's hey, I'm down. Everybody.
And I knew you would be with it. I knew you would be with it. You know what I'm saying? I was just wanting to make sure Scott was like, okay, he's good with coming up with the categories.
Let's do it. All right, man. So I'm gonna hit you up. We probably go on IG a little later and talk some more trash. I know it's time to get out of here. Scott had to work today, so I know he gotta go.
Every day.
He itching to get off the air. He like,
right.
Go. But nah, man, definitely, man. Appreciate it, man. It's gonna be fun, man. It's definitely gonna be fun.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna be
looking
interesting.
forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, get your eggs ready, guys.
Side note, y'all haven't had me on the show to talk my shit about my Saints.
Well, that's because you was never around. I've been telling you, hey, because we record, right? And you was living up here, and you ain't. I said you have an open invitation. I've always told you that. I always told you that. Yes,
you did. But now, since we can do it this way, hey, I'm ready.
That is true. That is true. But it ain't always gonna be this way. So you better hurry up before
we are itching to get back into the studio. I'm missing the studio.
But definitely, so we'll definitely get you back on and talk some football. The schedules came out, so we'll maybe next week or the week after or whatever. We'll get you back on here. Because I know you want to talk them Saints and whatever.
Yeah, man. You let me know. I'm good.
But absolutely. We'll link up and everything. We'll make it happen.
Word. And I think spreading the word to everybody like Ern, Nair, and all them.
Oh yeah.
As far as how we gonna do this battle, I think it's gonna get everybody excited.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I do like that.
So how y'all gonna pick the judges? Y'all just gonna like solicit for volunteers? Or?
Well, I think we have an idea of who we gonna pick. We'll get together and figure it out.
As long as one, my only request is have one female judge.
I agree. I just told you that earlier. Get out of here.
No, real talk. I agree. 2 female. If you have 5. One if you have 3, but at least 2 if you have 5.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. I was thinking about 3 judges. Okay. Yeah. 5. Yeah, of course.
True. Absolutely. I agree. All right. So we'll get all the details and we'll get the flyer made up. We're gonna make it great.
We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna make it great.
That's how it's fun, fellas.
All right, man.
All right, bro. All right. So this man somehow this man Scott. I don't know. It's been 5-6 years. Somehow he found a way to make me participate.
Absolutely.
In this damn yoke.
I had to take my shot.
My God.
And you know what? That's why I didn't say chinky. Because I knew you wasn't going to agree to it if it was just chinky. That's why I put myself in there. I had to put myself in there as bait to get you to do it.
Oh man, you think you know someone?
You know somebody. I was like, yo, it's gonna be good enough. But if I step in there with him,
it's gonna be fun, and I cannot wait. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait till you have to put an egg over your head.
Hey man, we're gonna see, man. I got confidence in Chinky. I know it's gonna be a good competition. This is gonna be a good competition.
All right, man. All right, so
I can't go on the host too hard, pause, but
but nah, it should be fun. It should be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. So man, enjoy your weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend.
We'll talk Sunday.
I know we can't do much anyway, but yeah, man, let's make it happen. But till next week, we out.
Peace.
Peace.